More than 4,500 years ago, in the desert of Egypt, people built a stone mountain so precise that even today, engineers still ask the same question: how did they do it? The Great Pyramid of Giza stands on the west bank of the Nile, just outside modern Cairo. It was built during Egypt's Old Kingdom, around 2560 BCE, for Pharaoh Khufu, also known by the Greek name Cheops. To ancient Egyptians, this was not just a tomb, it was a doorway to eternity, a monument made to carry a king's soul toward the stars. At first glance, the pyramid seems simple, 4 sides rising to a point. But the closer we look, the stranger it becomes. It was once about 146.6 meters tall, covered in bright white limestone casing stones that reflected the sun like polished light. From a distance, it may have looked less like a building and more like a glowing symbol on the horizon. For centuries, travelers believed it had been built by slaves, but modern archaeology tells a different story. Near Giza, researchers found workers' villages, bakeries, tools, and graves. These workers were organized, fed, and honored. They were not nameless shadows. They were skilled people who cut, moved, lifted, and placed millions of stones with astonishing care. The pyramid contains an estimated 2.3 million blocks of limestone and granite. Some weighed a few tons. Others, especially the red granite blocks inside the king's chamber, came from Aswan, hundreds of miles to the south. Moving them required boats on the Nile, teams of workers, sledges, ropes, water, planning, and patience. One of the greatest secrets lies not in the size of the pyramid, but in its accuracy. Its sides are aligned almost perfectly with the cardinal directions, north, south, east, and west. The ancient builders did this without modern machines, without satellite maps, and without steel tools. They may have used stars, shadows, and careful observation of the sky. Inside, the Great Pyramid feels less like a tomb and more like a silent puzzle. Narrow passages lead upward and downward through the stone. The Grand Gallery rises like a long, steep corridor into darkness. The king's chamber, built from heavy granite, sits deep within the pyramid. Above it are relieving chambers designed to spread the weight of the massive stones overhead. In 1837, explorer Howard Weiss found markings inside those upper chambers, including a cartouche with the name Khufu. This discovery helped connect the pyramid firmly to the pharaoh himself. Still, many questions remain. Why were some chambers left unfinished? How exactly were the stones lifted so high? What methods did the builders use day after day, year after year? A major clue came from an unexpected place, the Red Sea coast. At Wadi al-Jarf, archaeologists found ancient papyrus documents linked to a man named Merer. These records describe workers transporting limestone by boat to Akhet Khufu, meaning Horizon of Khufu, the ancient name of the Great Pyramid complex. For the first time, the builder's world felt close, almost human. We could hear the rhythm of their work through words written more than 4 millennia ago. There is also the mystery of the pyramid's hidden spaces. In 2017, the Scan Pyramids project announced the discovery of a large void above the Grand Gallery, detected using tiny cosmic particles called muons. No one knows its exact purpose. It may be a structural feature, a hidden passage, or something else entirely. The pyramid, after thousands of years, still refuses to give up all its secrets. But perhaps the greatest secret is not a hidden chamber. Perhaps it is the human ambition behind the monument. The Great Pyramid was built in a world without electricity, engines, cranes, or computers. Yet it demanded organization on a national scale. Farmers, stonecutters, sailors, scribes, priests, and architects working under a shared vision. Khufu himself remains a shadowy figure. We know his pyramid better than we know the man. Ancient writers later described him in harsh terms, but those stories were written long after his lifetime. What remains most clearly is the monument he left behind, a structure that became the tallest man-made building on Earth for thousands of years. When the sun sets behind the Giza Plateau, the Great Pyramid becomes more than stone. It becomes a message from a civilization that believed death was not an ending, but a journey. It reminds us that history is not only made of kings and dates, it is made of hands, sweat, skill, hope, and a dream powerful enough to survive the fall of empires. The Great Pyramid has stood through sandstorms, invasions, earthquakes, legends, and time itself. Its outer casing is mostly gone, its chambers are empty, its builders are long forgotten by name. Yet the pyramid still speaks. And maybe that's its deepest secret. It was built for one pharaoh, but it became a question for all humanity. How far will people go when they believe they are building something eternal? If you enjoy stories like this, please follow for more hidden history and untold stories from around the world.